All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. We're Still Here by Steve Perry jumps another spot to number 14 this week on the Billboard Adult Contemporary Top 30. That is quite a feat. The song has only been on the charts for 4 weeks and showing movement still. This actually really surprises me that finally people are taking notice out in terrestrial radio. You know, the radio industry today is pretty much run by mega corporations, large monopolies, and to get into their playlist or into their format, there tends to be a real corporatist mindset, and it's not really DJ driven anymore. You can call any one of these iHeartRadio affiliates and request music, and the DJ will typically laugh at you or say something to the effect that, well, thanks for calling. We'll take that into consideration, but it ain't the olden days when, listeners actually drove songs up the charts. The song itself basically getting added by more radio stations and also getting more spins. That's what gets these songs up the charts. That hasn't really changed, but in the old days, listeners would and could have sway over how a song was reported. If it was mentioned that the song had, active phones, which meant that people were calling and requesting it, that would tend to bump the song up a local station's chart and thus influencing other charts around the country. If the song was in a major market, getting a lot of requests for it, it would then, trickle down to the other radio stations that were in smaller markets and so forth. But this is the album, which if you don't have it, you probably should go out and purchase it. It's called Traces, Steve Perry. The video getting close to 500,000 views right now on YouTube. And that video will probably go over 1 million views. It might take a little longer than your typical teeny bopper video, but the more airplay this song gets on terrestrial radio, the more people will go to YouTube to see the video. Again, if you like nostalgia, it's just a terrific video of Steve Perry driving this vintage Chevy, and really kind of, like I say, all grown up version of Don't Stop Believin', looking back at his life and seeing that, yes, we're all still here and we haven't stopped believing in Steve Perry. So, more good news from the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. Yours truly really happy about this because I had almost given up on the fact that radio would give this album a fair shake. I know it's a lot harder for a guy who is now 70 years old to break into charts where you've got all of these, Taylor Swift type artists on there and people that I've never heard of. Cardi B, I think is the number one song, or it was. I have no idea. I don't recognize probably 3/4 of the artists on this chart, but who cares? Steve Perry doing great, and probably is happy that finally his album is getting some promotions by the record label and by radio. There it is, Traces, Steve Perry. Congrats, Steve. Number 14 and climbing.